I can't believe I have to do a video dedicated to John Cena, but after looking at the comments on Johnny Thunder's last video, I feel that I have to, because some people just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It just really boggles my mind. Alright, let's go with some of these comments here. I mean, well, first I guess I'll go with the disagreement that I have with Johnny Thunder in the video, and that is, he said that John Cena is a terrible wrestler. Don't agree with that at all. He's an okay wrestler. He can have a good match when need be. His match with Batista at WrestleMania was very good. His match at Survivor Series, the one that just passed, was very good. His matches with Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Maga. I mean, granted, he's in the ring with somebody who can carry him, but there are wrestlers that can't be carried to good matches, such as Goldberg, JBL, all that. I mean, JBL may have a good match once in a while, but that's pretty much it. So let's go through some of these comments here. A7XFan2000 says, just because he makes money and the kids like him, you respect him. Wow, you're just like Gemini. Of course, he's got to take his pot shot at Gemini. The whole idea is that Cena caters to the demographic that WWE is aiming for. And not only does he obtain to that demographic, he's pretty much the face for that demographic. He pretty much pertains to that demographic, as a whole, which is why he's getting this big push as the main guy of the company. If you don't like it, then tough shit. He's going to continue to make money. Alright, Mr. Daddy Cool 3 then goes on to state, look, I have no problem with Cena as a person, but I don't agree with you. The point is that the adult fans are not entertained. First of all, it's a PG product. All you people keep saying the PG product is pertained to kids, so of course Cena's not going to try and reach out for the adult fans. There's a reason when I went to go see Twilight, I didn't enjoy it. It's because it wasn't pertained to me, or wasn't trying to aim for people like me, which is the same thing with John Cena. John Cena's character is not aimed for the adult fans. He's aimed towards the kids, and he gets all the kids' attention. Same with the women. We feel that we are being ignored because the WWE want to make a quick buck. WWE's always wanted to make a quick buck. It's that simple. WWE's all about the money. We want to be entertained. We want to be treated with intelligence for all the time we have spent watching WWE on Monday night. Well, if you want to be entertained, there's other wrestling promotions out there that you can watch. I've got plenty of Ring of Honor DVDs. I can recommend some of them to you. I would be more than happy to spend my hard-earned money on someone that I believe in. I just don't believe in John Cena, and I'm sure many adult fans feel the same. Again, that's not the demographic that he's going for. He's going for the children, which is pretty much the marquee to his character. I know Johnny Thunder responded with something, I agree with you, but WWE's all for the money. And LV goes on and says WWE has always been about the money. And then Mr. Daddy Cool 3 responds, true, but the most money ever made in the WWE was during the Attitude Era, an era which was built on the ECW mentality of giving the fans what they want. Sadly, the WWE has steered away from all that together. Yes, it is about making money, but I feel like many others do, that mentality should have been alive and well. I'm just reading exactly what it's written there. Well, again, whether you like it or not, Cena makes money, and as long as Cena is continuing to make the WWE money, Vince is going to still push him, no matter what you say, no matter what I say, no matter what anybody says. I mean, we could sit here all day and say who sucks and who's this and that, why this guy ain't getting a push. At the end of the day, as far as who the main guy is, everybody can agree that John Cena makes the most money for that company, which is why he's being pushed. Alright? We can't argue this, and the more you argue it, the less of a chance it's going to be for Cena to go away anytime soon, because we're giving him exactly what he wants, attention. And if you want my opinion on not giving people attention, if you want them to go the fuck away, just look at my Justin Bieber video on the Monoxide's Thoughts account. And then he made a second point and said, and And if that was the case, then it wouldn't only be John Cena making all the majority of the money for the company. Well, that part of it has nothing to do with John Cena. That has to do with the company's booking. They decide that Cena's going to be on top here, and there's going to be a couple guys below him, and then there's going to be a bunch on the bottom. They've decided that Cena's on top of the pile. Take it for what it's worth, but hey, that's what WWE wants. LV goes on to 3 comments. I don't wish to read them at the moment because it'll just be a long time. I'm just going to read what Mr. Daddy Cool 3 says in response. Exactly, it's the business as a whole, but do you honestly think, without giving the loyal fans what they want, that the WWE can maintain a good business? Well, the problem is they are maintaining a decent business for what they have. I mean, they are making a decent amount of money to a point where they can consider themselves in good shape. Granted, WrestleMania's buy rate was pretty bad, considering the build to it and the main event itself, but the fact of the matter is Cena still brings in the money. As long as Cena just keeps bringing in the money, they're not going to change who's going to be in the main event as far as who's going to be the top guy, unless either A, Cena retires, or B, something goes wrong backstage and Cena management has this big fallout, or God forbid the third one, he passes away. Straight Edge Savior then posts a comment saying, I'm tired about hearing this. Oh, he puts his body on the line. Puts that in quotes. So does every fucking buddy else, and you don't see them getting the title, do you? No. If Cena were gone, Morrison and others would be in the main event. Fuck Cena. First of all, the difference between Cena and the rest of those guys is that Cena is the reason why WWE is bringing in a lot of money, which is why Cena's getting that push, which is one of the few pushes that is very understandable over the past few years. And if Cena went away, that doesn't mean Morrison's going to be put in the main event. The fact of the matter is, it all depends on how WWE books their writing. They've decided that they want to push Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, 2 guys we don't care for. I mean, at least fans care for Cena. They don't care for McIntyre, they don't care for Sheamus. Well, they're starting to care for Sheamus, I guess, but still, nobody's caring for McIntyre. So, again, just because Cena goes away, it doesn't mean these guys are going to get that push, because we've wanted Morrison to get pushed, we wanted Evan Bourne to get pushed, we wanted Carlito to get pushed, we wanted Elijah Burke to get pushed. Where did these guys go? They went to absolutely nothing. And that's all because of bad booking. Johnny then replies, everyone does. I respect every wrestler, even if they suck as bad as Cena. They are messing up their bodies for the biz. You need to respect that. That's what he said. Straight Edge Savior then responds, saying, since when does Cena put his body on the line? Oh, I could have swore that anytime he goes in the ring and takes a bump and receives any kind of pain, that would be putting your body on the line, especially if you do it on a daily basis. He only has like 5 moves, and they're almost impossible to botch. Almost every wrestler that has been at that top level has 5 moves. Very few moves. So that's not a good excuse. Only thing I see him doing is blading, and WWE's PG now. And the little bumps he takes, but he is Superman, so he barely takes bumps. No. He is Superman because he hulks up anytime he receives any kind of pain. Bumping around the ring is still a tough job to do, especially on a daily basis, and you only got like X amount of days off. So Cena is putting his body on the line, just like everybody else is. That's the one thing I can respect about every wrestler, even Bobby Lashley, somebody that I dislike. He actually puts his body on the line, so I can respect him for that. Okay, and Johnny responds with, still, he's been hurt before. He's had serious injuries in wrestling, which is true. Giving his body like everybody else does. Yeah, he just does 5 moves, but he still needs to know how to land, bump, and take other moves, which could cause injury. One of the few things I agree with Johnny. See, me and Johnny are good friends, but we disagree on a lot of things. Mr. Daddy Cool 3 then responds, Johnny's, that's the problem, that doesn't know how to land, bump, and take other moves. That's why he's been injured so much. Jim Cornette said it best, John Cena was called up 3 years too early. Okay, I have a problem with this. First off, he's only been injured a total of 2 times. 2 times that I can recall that put him out of action. No. Maybe it was 3 times. Can't recall. There was one time in October of 07 when he got hurt, and then he got hurt again in mid-08. May have been 3 times, but he hasn't been hurt so much. It's not like with Ken Kennedy, where he got injured right on the cusp of them pushing him, which is why I think it's totally justified that WWE swiped away with him. We're like, what are we gonna do? Every time we try to give this guy a push, he gets injured. He's injury prone. Cena is injury prone to an extent, and I bet you anything that this Mr. Daddy Cool guy who is saying that John Cena just keeps getting injured. What about Edge? How many times has Edge gotten injured ever since being in the main event and for long periods of time? Are you going to tell me that he's not talented? Because that would be asinine. This whole scenario of the Cena sucks bullshit pretty much came into play during the whole Wrestling Jesus Gemini bullshit. Alright, at the moment I have not a problem with either or guy, but really, the fact of the matter is, Cena makes the most money, Cena is the face of WWE, and oh, there was a comment that said that the Attitude Era was somewhere where, okay, here it is, an era which was built on the ECW mentality of giving the fans what they want. That's partly true, but that's partly false, because if you think about it, we didn't want The Rock in the main event. Nobody did. We booed The Rock. They pushed The Rock and shoved him down our throats until we learned to accept him. And then he showed his true talent, and that's when we started to like him. So technically they don't follow that rule because of The Rock. The Rock is just a prime example. But just this whole argument with Gemini and fucking Wrestling Jesus, albeit Gemini I think takes it way too far with his Cena loving, but in all honesty, Cena is not that bad. I used to think that 3 years ago because of his fucking character. The only reason people don't like him is his character. It's not because he's a terrible wrestler, it's not this and that. Because again, 6-7 years ago, this guy pretty much was one of the guys that was the heel that pretty much became the face because of the fans. And because of the fans, he's at where he is at. He is a product of the fucking fans, and nobody seems to recognize this. Nobody. They seem to have this like this wool over their eyes that, oh, this never happened. WWE just decided to grab somebody and throw him in the main event. No, if you want to say that for anybody, you say that for Drew McIntyre, because Drew McIntyre is somebody that they pulled out of their ass and said, ooh, look, let's push him. That's somebody you could say that for. Cena, on the other hand, was somebody we wanted pushed. The only thing that WWE has done wrong with it is that they've changed his gimmick to a point where now it's stale. That's the only real problem with the Cena character, is that it's stale. If he had a better gimmick, less of you would probably be bitching and complaining. Because let's quite honestly, Triple H has a Superman gimmick. Fucking, they were giving Bobby Lashley a Superman gimmick, and when I bitched about it, none of you complained. In fact, you called me crazy. What the fuck? But at least Cena is over to a point where it's acceptable. But nobody here gets it. Nobody here gets the mentality of, as long as he's making money, they're going to keep pushing him. You have to realize that. If he's making money for the company, doesn't matter what we say, he's going to continually get pushed. You could sit here and say, oh, he's a bad wrestler. Well, Hulk Hogan technically wasn't great. And none of you complain about him. Technically, who can I throw in the fucking hat there? Warrior wasn't a great wrestler, but none of you have complained about him when he won the fucking world title. And both of those guys, mind you, had a Superman gimmick. I already know where I'm gonna get. Oh, but that was a different time. No, they were in a PG or G era where pretty much they were pertaining to one guy being the main face of the company. Cena's the same way. WWE decided to go with this PG route. I'm not totally for it, but hey, that's their business. That's what they want to fucking do. The blood thing is the only problem I have with this whole PG thing. The fact that they stop matches. But the whole idea of this video is, you gotta stop with the Cena hate as far as, oh, they shouldn't push him, he shouldn't be on top of the spotlight. He should just go away. No, that's moronic, that's asinine, that is completely ridiculous. If you want to complain about how stale his gimmick is, go ahead, do that. But don't sit here and tell me that WWE is doing bad business because they're only catering to the women and children, which is their fucking demographic right now because they've changed the product to PG. I don't fucking know. I'll never understand why people say that Cena shouldn't be in the main event. It's really stupid. Even when I hated Cena, I knew full well that Cena belonged in the fucking main event. I knew full well that Cena was better than half of these guys you guys supported back in the day. But whatever. If anybody wants to respond to this, fine, whatever. I don't care.